Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games. And in today's video we have a lot of things to unbox, as you can see. For Conquest, The Lost Arguments of King, and Conquest First Blood, we have some Yoronis and we have some W'adhruns. I'm very excited to see all of this. I did not expect so much to come by mail. And well, that's amazing because first of all, we're gonna get to talk again about some units. Like we covered the Kappa Bushis just for the fun before, but let's talk about them again. We're gonna have some new units such as the Kitsune Bakasu. We get some objective zone as well that you might see in some upcoming battle reports. And we get finally the Chosen of War, the Scion of War, and the Scion of Death. You have not yet seen the Chosen of Death on our battle reports, but they are already painted by Hyacinthe, and you will see them soon. By the way, little advertising for Hyacinthe. He has a channel called Je Ruine et Famine. It's in French, but links in the description. Not every single game that battle report that I make of Conquest is for my channel. I sometimes do some for other French channels that cover Conquest, such as Je Ruine et Famine. So if you want to see some W'adhruns in action there, links to Je Ruine et Famine. Now, that being said, we're going to do this, as you know, in two times. First of all, a short unboxing, should take about 10 minutes, and then a deep dive Tactica where I talk way too long on how to play every single one of these units, how to make the best use of them, what kind of combos you have, how to counter them, etc, etc. As always, as you know as well, there is a timestamps right there if you want to skip to the Yoroni, the W'adhrun, whichever you like. We will not make a deep dive about the objectives, we'll just look at what they are. And all the YouTube things. Subscribe especially, we're almost at 2,000. That would be great if we can breach that milestone. And like, comments to gain a Dwegom army, or as well Union Armada for Dystopian Wars. It's almost the end of the contest. It's going to be until this summer, so get going on your comments if you want to gain this. Especially the Dwegom army is absolutely huge, probably one of the largest giveaway that we've done. That's already painted and everything. We made a video if you want to see more in detail what it is. And now that all the advertising and explanations are done, let's go for the first part, the unboxing. And the first thing we're going to uncover actually is going to be those objective markers with the Yoroni sign. Okay, it's nice. You got 3 of them. So enough to, like most scenarios, you don't need more. Like Conquest doesn't play with a lot of objectives. You have 3 large ones and 3 small ones. No, oh my god, you get a lot of small ones. You get 6 small ones and 3 large ones. Okay. Up to you, like if you like to do this or not. I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of having those for my tables because it kind of like breaks the immersion. Though, like for sure, like if you like your faction and your faction symbol, like the Yoroni one is very cool. It's good. Like if you go to a tournament, if you organize tournaments and stuff, and you don't have the like transparent objective or stuff, it's a very good way to support the game, and it's still quite nice. Though, I was about to say, if you have all 6 small and all 3 large, you don't see the table underneath anymore. But again, Conquest is not played with 10,000 different objective zones. So yeah, it is nice. It is relatively cheap and it's good quality. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to support the game, it's a good way. As always, the best way you can support the channel, because we don't have a TP or Patreon or anything, the best way to support is to go on the Parabellum website and to use the code LOVE10. And if you do that, we do get some of the cash back to us. You have 10% discount, free delivery because it's the official Parabellum website and everything. And yeah, that's the best you can do to support us. So thank you if you do that. I see you guys keep purchasing a little bit less than before, but it's still very nice and it's all bonus for me. So thank you very much, and it pushes me to continue. The Dwegom symbol, of course, is the best, but I'm absolutely partial to it. Now come on, the Sorcerer King is amazing. All of those are cool. We'll continue with the Kappa Bushis, and those guys, we covered them already, like how they are supposed to be played when we covered the starters. That, like, we didn't get their starter set, but it was nice to talk about them. They look a little bit turtleish. I heard Iggy from YTV saying they're dragonish. Well, they're cold-blooded, let's say that. Okay, so here are the sprues. You get 3 bases, makes sense. Building instructions, you have the activation. Yeah. The interesting thing with the Yoronis is, again, you have those symbol of their elements, which you need to use. And since they can be built in different squads, they don't just give you 1 card, because you can spread them around and stuff. We'll talk about it more in the Tactica when we talk about the Yoronis, but if you can also check our how to start with the Yoronis video to do a bit more. Okay, you have Kappa Bushi leader and troops and everything. Simple. still made in Poland by Arkham Studio, like everything, which explains the quality. I'm pretty sure that Parabellum is never going to work with American printers anymore. They had some issues. Let's do what we usually do and zoom. Okay, they put back numbers, like they disappeared from my W'adhruns recently. They do put numbers to know which part goes with which. Very good. Is it a face? Yes, it is. Oh my, it looks so cute. Okay, there is a space to put the hat on top. It gives me a very like Japanese vibe, almost like, I don't know, Dragon Ball or not Ninja Turtle, but really like those Akira Toriyama style of drawing, which I guess is inspired by Japanese culture. Oh my god, this is pointy. This is actually physically painful. They really have literal claws. I'm gonna lose skin if I keep touching it. Be careful when you paint it, when you build it. Let's not get boring by saying again that the level of detail is great, but look at those armors. Nice body with some flat surface. You can make some nice highlights here and there. Again, some pointy fingers. The scepter of the moon. I don't know what it is, but it looks very stylish as well. And the second sprue, which is not the same. I like it. Look at it's not square for some reason. It's just a little bit. Oh, do they try to? I'm always interpreting the shape of the sprue as, okay, this is like the back of the turtle and stuff. Most of the time not. They put the number under the feet. It's quite convenient actually. Like we can laugh. Like I laugh for no reason. I'm a bit idiot to laugh at it because it's actually a good idea. Like it does help you when you're building to make it as smooth as possible. Another scepter of the moon. This one is different, as we can see. It doesn't have the little circle on top, but it's just like for the beauty. Is this a carapace, like how we call it in English, a shell on top of this? Yeah, they're really like sea creatures, or should I say she creatures? Okay, I'll see myself happy. Again, like a very cool level of details and all this little armor and stuff, and isn't it adorable, those little feet, 3-3. Yeah, very good sprue. You get 2 sprues of these little guys, and I really like the Kappa Bushis. We'll talk about them again in the Tactica, why I like them, but they're not my favorite unit because of course I like the tanky units, but they are really interesting, like mix of spell casting, and they combo very well with the Kitsune actually, because one of the version is a spellcaster and can, well, I will not make a Tactica right now, we'll see this in detail in a second. Well, next up we'll indeed open the Kitsune Bakasu. Does it mean there is only one version that you can build? Only the Bakasu version? I thought, okay, well, I will double check when we go back to the Tactica part, but for me, it's like 2 different kits, but just for the box, and you were supposed to be able to build both versions of the Kitsune. Maybe I am mistaken, we'll check that. Well, you can always proxy, even if it's not exactly the same. You have those 2 elements, which kind of indicate me that probably you can build both versions. So get the base and the building instructions, which will answer our version. Yeah, okay. Kitsune Bakasu, Kitsune Onmyoji. Okay, first of all, you can see that they are very similar, so you can proxy one as the other. The Bakasu is the one with the little swords, like lots of small attacks, and the Onmyoji is the spellcasting one, if I'm not mistaken. And you get a single sprue. It's made of plastic, first of all, so nice. I mean, I usually prefer plastic, even for characters. So a single sprue, and oh my god, I don't understand anything that's going on there. Yeah, it's because she has all those little tails, wings, something behind, and well, yeah, you do have a lot of, like, I understand why they use a whole plastic sprue for that, because you do need a lot of those flat, very smooth, nice to the touch plastic. Let me shed a little bit more light on those. Yeah, so it's like mostly wind and tails, and you need to look deep inside to start to see the body. Kind of like monstrous body. Okay, there is a head. Okay, quite nice. There is another version for the head, a little bit nicer. I like this one as well. God damn, you have a lot of alternative heads, which is good. Like, I mean, not complaining in the slightest. More variety is always good. You can choose the one you prefer. You can magnetize. You can have 3 times kitsunes and not have them look like each other. You do have the little swords if you want to make the Bakasu version, and you do have some hands here, which tells me that yes, if you want, like, okay, not the sword here, a hand, but if there is a hand, it means you can build it without swords, which means that then it will be the Onmyoji version. And always those little numbers under inside, very convenient. All right, interesting character with 2 versions. We will cover both versions, like even if in the Tactica I tell you like, okay guys, I checked, you cannot build both with this box, because I will take the time to check. I will still cover both versions in the Tactica. Now we go to the W'adhruns, and we'll start with a big box, the Chosen of War, which look like giant, how they call it, not brutes? The warbred. They look like warbreds for the W'adhruns, except in armor, which is a style that I love. They are Children of War, like Chosen of War, sorry. Children of War are my Dwagons, and this is where I was going, because they do look very Dwagomish with the armor, the giant plates, the giant thing. Like, you can see that they are related to the same god as the Dwagons. Shit, they are over 7 feet tall. Oh my god, I have no idea how much it is in terms of like normal meters. Well, I mean, my feet is average. I guess I could use like, I know that it's standardized stuff, but it's so weird always to talk about ancient feet. And let's start the debate. The base as always, and you get 2 sprues. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh my god, love those big bulky. Okay, no, first we start with the card, the instructions, and then we gawk at the details. Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of when I see it like this? There is this amazing game. Always quote games when I didn't book it, but it reminds me of Shadow of War, like Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. And in Shadow of War, like the second one, there was a tribe of orcs with some trolls and stuff like this. With, well, I think it was a tribe of iron, something like this, and they really look like this. Okay, I'm already liking more and more those guys. We'll see the sign as well. I'm very excited to see this. Yeah, come on, they look like, for me, they give like Lord of the Ring vibes of those guys. Like the siege troll of the Mordor as well in the 3rd movie. Okay, let's take a look at the sprue. You have those very nicely detailed bodies with the plates of armor and stuff. I think they could look really good as well in a Horde of Warcraft color scheme. Now I want to see that. Yeah, they don't have that much this like Central Southern American style that most of the W'adhruns have. Like there is some reminiscence, but they do have a lot of like, this looks Dwagon, like this layered plate. I know there is a name. This is a dwarven hammer. Like, you're not telling me anything else. Okay, a little bit brutal because it's a stone here, but this part here with a hand. If I were playing W'adhruns, I would absolutely have like 3 packs of those. Can I proxy them as some of my Dwagons somehow? Oh my god, that's a theme, like kind of chaos dwarfs type, like having some orcs in chains fighting for you. Can I proxy them as the Lost and the Damned somehow, or maybe some iron forged automatas, which I love still. But no, let's be chill. Let's see them in battle reports played as warbred. So they are going for Joey and Famine channel, and he will get them paid. But look at this weapon. I love this. Is Dwagom. The face like this in the hammer is Dwagom style. You're not telling me anything else. And this looks like reactive hammer from the dwarves. Like, I love that since they are aligned to war, there is so many visual cues referencing back to the Dwagoms. Because yeah, there's still some things that tell you like it's W'adhrun. They are part of this culture from far away, but their main influence, because they're chosen, is the god of war that has shaped Dwagom society. And this little hand. Yes. Having fun with that. 3 brute base, as we've probably said already. Layered plates. Damn, you can really paint them extremely nicely. Okay, I really cannot wait. I want to see what the Scion of War is looking like now. Okay, it's made of resin. Artisan series, indeed. Oh, that's funny. This one is in resin. I can feel from the weight already. Oh my god. This one is in resin, and this one is in plastic, I feel. Why? Because they think people will not buy that many of this. Okay, there's probably some like marketing reason or something. I don't know, but let's have a look. Before we open, I have to ask. I talked with a couple people. We have no idea what this is. Is it fans? Is it armor? Is it reactive armor like on the hammer and stuff? There is these little balls at the end. I don't know. Is it for style? I have no idea. Can you not put them if you don't like? We'll see. Eh ben, the answer, we have a joke in French, la question elle est vite répondue. Eh ben, this is what we can say. Like, absolutely, you can not put them if you don't want to, because they are separated. There is also a little bit later armor here. Oh my god, there are so many bits. Sometimes they are in one block, and sometimes they're like this. You get, of course, your base. It's a brute-sized base. obviously, to go with your W'adhruns or with your... Okay, that's quite convenient to see it like this. So you can build everything, and you can absolutely, if you want, you're just gonna have the head, we'll see it in a second, but you can not put number 1, 2, 5, 6, it seems, even 3 and 4, which is like the head side fan, you don't have to put it. Maybe it's gonna look weird. I think we'll take a look at the head. It's just the one thing that I know people were not, oh my god, look at this hammer. It's a salamander hammer. Or Dwagom as well, because it's a drake head. Ah, okay, come on. I need to see how it looks like. It's the miniature that might get me started for Dwagoms. If, I'll be honest, if I didn't have a Dwagom player, like Yesant, I would take this for myself. Look at the hammer. We'll start with this, but damn. I wonder if you want to put it like looking like a big block of stone, or you want to put some heat effect with this little guy right here. Misses the arm, and it's like, ah! I'm sorry. Okay, you really do need the arm, otherwise it looks too dwarven. You have those massive pauldron shoulders, something around there. Okay, I need to find the arm. Something interesting, the arm is in another color of resin. Why? I don't know. Okay, it's gonna look much better like this. You're gonna have the hammer like that. It's like Lego. You could just clip it like this, and it's gonna look great. Like this. Yeah, like this. And then the pauldron shoulder. Oh my god, I'm breaking everything. Yeah, it's so easy when it just clips like this. You just glue it together. Talk about smooth painting, but yeah, it's gonna have bulk. This guy plus the hammer. It's gonna be one chunky, bulky boy. Can I make them whole? I will not glue them myself because I'm not so, like, it's the Yesant's pleasure to build it, but you can see that it's gonna be a bulky boy. The armor is amazing. I really want to have a whole army of armored W'adhruns. I hope they have, like, I don't know, partisan, like acolytes of war, like smaller W'adhruns with the same style of armor, though they don't want to be like this. And then you can make elite orcish army, like W'adhrun army, and oh my god, that would look so good. The other arm, just so you see, he's like, come at me, bro. Is he? Yeah, he is like, come at me, bro. Okay. Or you can make it like that. You can make it like this, very Thanos-like pose. You get Thanos with the hammer of Thor, with Mjolnir. And the question we've all been waiting for, these are fans somehow. Yeah, they look like fans. What I really want to know, and probably you as well, I put it like this. Can I just say I'm happy? I don't put any fans. Yes, you can. Oh my god. And I'm sorry, but this guy with the helmet. I don't know how it's called, this helmet, where you don't have visors, you just have a lot of like holes, let's say, to see through. They do it a lot in War Machine. For literally all the factions have this for some reason. Because I guess it's easier to sculpt than faces. I'm kidding. But I really like this style. I don't know how it's called. If you guys know how it's called, this type of arm face plate with the holes, let me know. And maybe if I put it vertical, it's gonna be better. Yeah. The good news, you put the face, you put the arms and shoulder pads, you don't need to have 10,000 fans. I'll be honest with you guys, if it was for me, I would not put the fans. And yeah, it looks proper Dwagomish like this. So I spent a little bit more time on this because I'm very excited about this miniature. Yeah, there is a little slot to put the fans here. So either you glue it with blue stuff very easily, or you know, you just paint it and nobody's gonna see it. But yeah, you have the space for this to put inside, but you don't have to. There is also this with some ruin and stuff. Really enjoying the whole miniature. Okay, now that we've answered the important question, like, can I play this guy without the fans? Yes, he's gonna look less bulky, but if the bulk comes from having fans, maybe I just want it as a giant brute and it's gonna be much better. I hope you're happy about this, guys, and I'm glad every time there is some design decision that, for the W'adhruns, for example, that people don't like I remember when the Thunder Riders had cowboy hats, there was options to have no cowboy hat on their Thunder Riders. You had normal heads option and stuff. And here the same. They probably knew it would be a little bit and they just put some slots here, here, in order to glue it, but you can fill it up very easily. You don't even have to, it can be just a hole in the armor or something, and then you don't have fans, and it's a choice up to you. I'm glad it's not inbuilt and you don't have to cut it out if you don't like it. And the very last thing, those are the little fans that go on the head, and okay, it's a little bit cute, those. Maybe you can put just those, but not those on the shoulders. Overall, I'm very happy of the Chosen of War and the Scion of War, and I'm really excited for Yasan to put them on the table for our next game, or probably a little bit after this one because it's gonna take a little bit of time to paint them. They look great, and I cannot wait for them to just crush through my dragons, but they're gonna look so cool doing this. For sure, my favorite unit in the W'adhrun roster so far. Oh, Chosen and Scion of War. Yeah, I know it's weird for a faction with full dinosaurs and stuff to say like my favorite miniatures are those, but what can I say? I like the big armies. And the last one we're gonna get is the... no, it's in resin. Just much less bulkier. What is it? Yeah, Artisan Série, like limited thing or more expensive or something. But okay. So Chosen. Now we see the Scion of Death. So the opposite. Very slim, like they're all women with good evasion stats and not high defense stat. Just floating around with some great rolls. We'll talk about it in the Tactica, of course. But for now, let's have a look at this. My god, the Tactica is going to be so long. I just realized like just unboxing takes a while. And Tactica is gonna, this is going to be a more than a 1 hour video for sure. So you get the Scion of Death. You build her like this. And she ends up like that, just floating around with this, holding her to the ground. Very cool. And good lord, like... okay, don't think I will be able to show you it built like the Chosen of War. Let's see just the different bits. You saw from the building instruction that there are a lot of different things. Let's try and find the body first. Okay, this is going to be the main body. We see it from the back. Very smooth here. But I guess it's because there are things in front. Quite muscular back, okay. The head. I have to say the death mask like this is really stylish. This gives me more like classical W'adhrun vibes. How does it work? There's a little clip here. Okay. Okay, quite imposing, I have to say. Wow. Okay, very stylish. Nothing to say. Those little things will be floating around. It's going to be a little bit harder to build than the Scion of War. Still very cool. Like this goes in the front. You can see the feet here. She is going to be like kind of like floating. You get some little, I will not show you all those. Maybe the swords, which are interesting. You get some extremely small bits, like little hooks to float around. And the two swords. They are quite unique, but it's not just the same ×2. This one has a little hook, with a little armored hand holding it. Quite small, quite thin, but looks resistant enough. Yeah, won't break so easily as you could fear when you see something like this. Good quality, great amount of detail. I mean, look at the little teeth. The amount of oh my god, you can cut little cheese with that. But yeah, the amount of detail is very good. Okay, enough about the unboxing. You've seen all the different bits. Oh, there is one bit that I missed, which is a little foot on the foot that was missing. Okay, nice as well. I mean, less my cup of tea, but I know some of the people really love the Chosen of Death, and they were not OP, like they were hard. They got a buff in the latest W'adhrun release, like quite a significant one, which it's fine. Like if your unit Conquest has some good internal and external balance between the factions, so if something is an outlier and it's not being played, it will get buffs for sure. So please buff my whole things. Conquest, I know it's coming this summer. All right, let me pack all of this and I'll see you guys for the longer half of the video, the tactical deep dive. All right, so we are going for the Tactica. We'll first cover the W'adhruns, their different characters in the unit that we have just unboxed, and then we'll switch to the Yoronis. There, I'm using the latest army list from the 23rd of May, so less than a month ago as I record this. So really, you can be confident that those stat lines will remain stable for quite a little while. So we start with the W'adhruns. I've been explaining how they work quite a few times, and I will not go as much in detail as in my just very recent video about the new starter set, same with Yoroni. Just know that they are orcs on dinosaurs. Yes, that's cool. If you want to play them, go play them. They used to be very complex. If you see older videos from my channel or other channels, you might see people saying like, yeah, they're a combo army, they're the most complex army. You know? It's not the case anymore. They're very fun, very straightforward. They have a little combo system, but it's quite fun. The top competitive players are like, but we lost a little bit tricks, but let me tell you that it's much better for everyone, except maybe for the top competitors that go to Greece every year to play the World Championship. But apart from that, it's much better for everyone. It's easier to understand. It's like much more streamlined. I love it. So you can have full dinosaurs, full orc horde, and you also have the cults, and this is what we're gonna see. They basically are attuned, let's say, to the 4 main elemental gods of Conquest, so Death, Conquest himself, War, and Famine. And I don't think we've seen Famine yet officially, but yeah, now we have 3 Scions, so the leader, and 3 Chosen, which is the unit. We have the Conquest, we had the Scions and the Chosen for a while, and now in the last few months and releases, we now have War and Death. Just a reminder that if you want to see the Chosen of Death, you can see them in an earlier video where we have unboxed them and seen their stat line. We shall start with the Chosen of War, such an amazing unit, though they're very expensive. 220 points for 3, though, again, you know what you pay for. And if I can say, as a Dragon player, I wouldn't mind playing those guys. They have defense 4, flat, okay, alright, no hardened. They have 6 wounds per model, so basically Dragon Slayer at this point. Resolve 4, that is huge, and even 2 of evasion. I don't know how they evade anything, but such it is. So their movement 6, I'm comparing them now in my head with the Dragon Slayer. Their movement 6, they have 6 attacks each at cleave 1, very well. Line Breaker, so you ignore the little spell you can give yourself a +1 defense. And you also ignore shield, like what the hell? When you impact, and you might impact because you have unstoppables or reward charges, you're gonna have 2 impacts per stand, and you have Clash 3, you're hitting on 4. Like, I mean, damn, those are just bulldozers. I understand as Chosen of War, they are linked to Dwagons, but this is just such an amazing unit. It's a anvil and a hammer all in one. They have just a basic 220 points is gonna be 18 wounds, defense 4, resolve 4 with evasion 2. Like, what the hell, you're not getting through. And apart from those stat lines, which is not like for W'adhrun, it's very tanky, but apart from that, you also have 6 attacks, line breaker, cleave 1, plus some impacts on the charge. But that's not all. That's not all, because when you chant with War, those guys obviously can only be aligned to War. When they chant for War, instead of giving you cleave 1 and stuff, which you usually get, but we'll get there in a second, they also gain Terrifying 1 and Fearless instead of getting Cleave 1, which they already have. Which means that then, like, I mean, you are Fearless, which is good. It's good. Resolve 4. Yeah, Fearless is this. So Resolve 4, Fearless, good luck to deal with that. And they have Terrifying 1. So those wounds that they will get through, because with Line Breaker and Cleave, it can go all the way to -3. If they remove your shield, remove your defenses, plus Cleave 1, can really be like -3. And then you're gonna have -1 to your resolve. Damn, I don't have much to tell you about these guys beyond that. Like, you understand how to play them. They're a hammer. Put them on the flank, they will slaughter cavalry. Put them in the center, they will slaughter infantry. They're just amazing. I don't know, like, they have a weakness is that they're heavy, thank God, like Dragon Slayers, so they will come later in the game. But apart from that, they are amazing. Yeah, they're expensive, but wow, you know what you pay for. And now we go to my favorite character, obviously, in the W'adhruns army, the Scion of War. First of all, it's cool. We've just seen that you can customize it to not have those little flappy things on the side. But wow, what a monster. He is a brute, obviously, if you cannot guess. 140 points, so very expensive for a character, but what do you get? This guy probably will be in a pack of Chosen of War. Spoilers. He's this guy has everything. He's a great duelist because he has 7 wounds. Yes. Defense 3, evasion 1, resolve 4. Right? He has 6 attacks on himself. He's a stand, like he's a Chosen of War by himself, except he has cleave 2 instead of cleave 1, and impact 2. Impact 3 instead of impact 2. So he's basically a Chosen of War, just a bit stronger in everything. And he has Line Breaker as well. And he has Relentless Blows. So it means it's basically exploding once. So if you make a 1, it's another hit, which you will get statistically every single attack because you have 6 attack base. That's not all. When you have this character, and you have friendly brutes, for example, Chosen of War, but also let's remember those ogre, oh my god, I forgot the name. Yeah, the Warbred, that's what I was trying to remember. The Warbreds and the Chosen of War in his regiment gain Relentless Blow. So it's basically, statistically, is a +1 to hit. It can spike harder, and it's less reliable, but it's basically +1 to hit, +1 to your clash all the time with Relentless Blow. So it makes them very good, very good. Not stable, but they can spike very hard and they're a huge threat. And this is just for free, just for having him in your regiment, just having this extra crazy guy, which yes costs as much as 2 Chosen of War, and he's barely more efficient, but he's a good duelist. It gives you this bonus. But characters are not supposed to be more efficient than units, so otherwise you would spam them, right? But the thing that makes them really well, if he's your warlord, you gain Vision of War, and, well, it's written on the screen, but damn. When you chant from the battle cry of war, for example, those guys, you gain not cleave 1, but you gain cleave +1 up to a maximum of cleave 2, so you cannot give it to yourself. But it means that this guy, when your Chosen of War are gonna sing like chant for war, which they probably will, these guys, with all their attacks, are gonna go all the way to cleave 2, which is a whole new world, and they're gonna gain tenacious as well. Which means those defense 4, fearless, terrified, you're killing everything. Let me remind you, like 6 attacks per stand, +1 for the leader, cleave 2, line breaker, unstoppable, terrifying, impact 2, wow. And then defensively, you're gonna be defense 4, you're gonna be tenacious, fearless, resolved 4, evasion 2, 6 wounds apiece. This is the equivalent for me of Ashen Dawns. I exaggerate a bit, not much. For me, these guys, okay, experts tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. For me, those guys, this pack is as good as a pack of Ashen Dawn, or they're a bit slower, less combos, I don't know. But damn, this is both the anvil and the hammer of the W'adhruns. Like, I'll be honest, if those miniatures were not so huge and I was not like, okay, I keep only the Dway homes because I don't have space in my home and I'm really trying to have as big a collection of Dway homes as possible, I would start W'adhrun army right now. In your mainstay you have Chosen of War and Warbreads, obviously, and you can also have Braves and Blooded. Okay, sure. And you can have the largest Drum Beast and Tontor as well if you need. We continue with the Scion of Death, and this girl is cheaper, 120 points, but damn does she bring. She's defense 2, evasion 2, so fragile, but doesn't care about cleave or anything. Resolve 4, okay, only 5 wounds, alright. 7 attacks, and wait a second, 7 attacks, which are going to be at Clash 4 when she attacks. Flurry, so full reroll, flawless strikes. So, I mean, at this point, flawless strike, for a reminder, means that when you make a 1 to hit, the enemy's defenses count as 0. They can still use evasion, but still. So it's a cleaning machine for sure. Then there are 2 things. If she's not your warlord, anyway, if it's there, this character, okay, it counts as having a Cult of Death, and infantry regiment, all infantry regiments, not only the chosen, gain +1 to evasion to a maximum of 3. So does this count as well for herself in duel? I don't think so, but still. So that's already great. We are focusing on Scion of Death. We don't care about many units, but like, yeah, some other units would appreciate it. Chosen of Conquest would like it. The Blooded would like it as well. They are defense 2, evasion 1. So going to evasion 2 means they don't care at all about any cleave or anything, which is still like it basically doubles your resilience. So it's going from basically a 6+ to a 5+ is not crazy, but it can add up. And especially it allows to the Chosen of Death to go to evasion 3. Evasion 3 starts to be, for those from other games, it's basically a 4+ invuln all the time. And they can block a lot of attacks if you're lucky. So she is good. She can have Blood and Braves as well. Chosen of Death, obviously, Hunters. So, well, yeah, units that will enjoy indeed the infantry, like the going to evasion 3. Indeed, she cannot have Chosen of Conquest in her battle group, so forget about that. But yeah, Hunters will like it as well. She can have some Slingers, which also, well, they've been nerfed, but also they don't have great defense, and better evasion is great. And her up to Riders, which go in the theme of being fast. And if she's your warlord, it's always active. If you chant from the Cult of Death, which you might have a lot of if you have her as your warlord, then your command stand adds to +3 to your attack characteristics, which means that your command stand for the Chosen of Death is going to go to attack 9. Yes, attack 9, evasion 3. So that starts to be a lot, and it means that the pack that she's going to be in is going to be threatening and lethal all the way to the end. Even if you start to lose a few packs of like a few stands of Chosen of Death, they're still going to be very lethal. I'm not as excited for her because, well, it's less my playstyle, but raising evasion for everyone is nice. She's cleaning for sure. She doesn't have cleave or impact or anything, but her and Chosen of Death, the Chosen of Death got a big points decrease, so it is a playstyle that I think should be tried by the players. We continue with the Yoroni, and those are their newest faction for Conquest. We've talked about them already a couple times when they were announced with the starter, but to sum it up, they are all of them for now brutes or monsters, so only very big creatures. They are basically, let's say, demons, spirits. I will not go to the background. They are very much linked with the Sorcerer Kings and the whole universe. The whole universe is quite coherent. And they're only giant, at least brutes. They are very elite, thus. You could expect that from an army full of brutes, but even, like, they could be weak brutes. No. Those are very elite, very strong. I did write down that they do remind me a little bit of Custodes for Warhammer, in the sense that you will have... It's good for beginners. They are overriding a couple rules that are hard, especially you have a, let's say, a safety net that will protect you, not without penalties, but that will protect you if you make big mistakes in making your deck at the beginning of the turn. You don't need many miniatures. First of all, they're all of them quite big. You don't have a horde of infantry at all to paint, and you have less because they're quite elite, and also the list construction is very permissive because of how you can just mix different brutes together. Not characters, like literal, you can mix different monsters in one mixed regiment, which is the core of the army. And depending on who is the leader, the sergeant, let's say, you will have different bonuses. Also, the sculpts are absolutely brilliant. I know a couple of people were not very happy with, for example, the origami brutes, but others, such as the Hollow Knights, are probably some of the coolest miniatures I've ever seen. Like, I've not received them, I don't think I will, but I've seen some pictures. They look absolutely insane. We will start with the Kitsune Bakasu for 110 points. What does she have? There are two variants. You will see the second one just after. One of them is very much focused on being a mage, and this one with the little daggers is focused on being just a melee threat. She has Resolve 4, as starts to be quite good, quite standard but quite good. Defense 3, Evasion 2, so not with 6 wounds, so can duel but not against anyone. She has 8 attacks at Clash 4, so it's going to be in the end 8 attacks reroll at Clash 4 rerolling 6s. Wow. Impact 3 as well, just for the fun. And just from this, like, you can put her in a regiment, and just by herself she will obliterate any enemy in front that doesn't have super, like, a lot of wounds or super high defense and stuff. She does bring a lot of damage. She unlocks this modular regiment, the mixed one, the Domaru Damashi, which is the Hollow Knights, and the two different yokai, which are the monsters. If we receive them, I will make a deeper tactical review of them. I don't know if we will, but they're basically strong melee monsters. You can imagine, they're very much centerpieces for your army. For the Kitsune Bakasu, apart from being a good character in herself, she's a Fu, so she goes good with people from the Fu, and we can see this because if she's your warlord character, you're gonna have two abilities. The first one is gonna be Mistress of Azure Gales. It's basically when you activate a unit with Fu, you replace it with gaining fluid formation, which is great. Everybody loves fluid formation. Not only it allows you to pivot and make sure that you can deal with the flankers, etc. But let's remember, if you have a larger regiment, especially in a line, like 5 of them in a row, it allows you to gain a lot, like quite a few inches for a charge. So it means that you can just, if you want to make, let's say, a move charge for some reason, usually you just want to make a charge, you move, you make your fluid formation to pivot, like let's say, I'll try to make it, you want to attack this phone for some reason. You come like here, you go there, like you are a line as well, you get closer, and the distance, let's say here it's 5 inches. But you have fluid formation, so just before you charge a new measure, you are going to pivot like this, so the enemy is still in your line of sight. However, we're going to take the closest point to see to calculate the distance. So it can give you, depending on the line, quite a few inches of range further. So that's really good on making sure you do have the first round of combat. So that's why move charge is usually not what you want to do, except in very specific circumstances with characters with death and stuff. But usually you will put her in a regiment, get her in good range of the enemy, probably a unit with Fu, and then you will make a free fluid formation, charge, and then attack. That's how I would play her usually. And another thing, like at the beginning of the turn, your supremacy ability only once. Any regiment activated by a Fu ideal card gain the Fu capacity. And the Fu means you have +2 march to your first move. So it's good for positioning, especially early game. Probably turn 2 or turn 3, you're going to use this. There are 2 ways to do this. +2 to the first march means if you want to attack, you're going to want to make a move charge. Not ideal usually, but it means turn 2 or turn 3, when you really start to have a lot of units on the table, you can really push yourself forward and occupy the terrain and threaten the enemy, like, okay, I'm really in the middle of the table right now. If you come closer to me, I will activate my little Fu shenanigans and I will charge attack you. So she's a good character. Do I want her to be, well, it's not my playstyle, you understand that this whole movement thing, etc., it's not really my thing, but I think she's quite convenient. As a warlord, maybe yes, maybe no. As a DPS in a big block of, I don't know, a very threatening, very tanky units, such as the Kappa or tough, but I'm especially thinking of one of the demon, the ones with the face on the belly that are very tough. In a big pack of those guys, having 8 attacks, clash 4 deadly blades, rerolling 6s, it's gonna start to be really, really nice. Do note that she counts as 3 stands for seizing objective, which is quite rare for a character. She is a brute, yes, but not everybody has that. Pushes even further the fact that you are very elite. The alternative version is the Kitsune Onmyoji, and this one, I mean, she is, I think, even better. Well, different. She doesn't punch as hard at all, like she has same defensive stat line, but she has -3 attacks at 5, and especially clash 2. So that's not the same, like, at all. She doesn't have deadly blades, because she doesn't have blades. She does shoot though. She shoots at 14 inches, so you can put her in some shooty regiment if you would like. Will the meta go around there? I don't know. But the main thing about her is that she's priest 6. And wait a second. The main thing to know with her is that she has really, really good spells. First of all, the names are insane. She has priest 6, so she, with a 2 and 3, she has good chance of succeeding at throwing them. The first one is Iron Soul of Discipline, okay, for self-regiment. You gain Unyielding, which is, okay, nice defensive boost if you don't have anything else to do, sure. Blossom in the Wind is a range of 12, and then the enemy regiment can only make 2 actions during its activation. That is nice. It's either you are in melee with someone, but it's the range of 12 makes me a little bit annoyed, in the sense, like, if you want to do this on some people that have triple activations, it's annoying because you are not sure at all that, well, they can still make a charge and then attack you. Yes, they're not going to make move charge attack, but still you're close enough that they don't really care anymore. It can be nice to remove, for example, fluid formation of someone, because then they cannot make fluid charge attack, and this can be nice. And then you have fluid formation with another unit and stuff. Sure, can be fun. Now we start to go with the really, I believe, strong ones. Hesitation, Bane of Deeds, which is an incredible name, means that this target regiment, so friendly regiment, will gain Tenacious, and Tenacious 2 against any volley action is really good. Like, it basically means nobody wants to shoot at you, except with absolutely overwhelming firepower in a single shot. But I'm thinking of my, for example, my little whole balliste that might make you 2 wounds. Well, Tenacious 2, not anymore. All the melee art, like all the spam of shooter is basically null against you. That's really, really good. And the last spell is Misery of Failure and Vision, which is incredible. I love that. And you target an enemy, -1 resolve. We know this. It's efficient. We like it. If she's your warlord, and I really do see why, the first thing is like, okay, there is one turn again when everybody can benefit from being the Sui effect if you activate it with the Sui card, even though it's not a Sui unit, which is actually basically a double safety net, because Sui means in your modular regiment you can switch who is the sergeant to gain the benefit that you want. Sure, if you need to gain extra attack or better defense because you're just going objective and waiting for the counterattack, sure, it's fine. The main thing is like, always active, Mistress of Winsome Mist. Once per round, good, otherwise it would be OP. Once per round, when you activate a regiment or character, with a Sui ideal, you can make this regiment can perform a free out-of-sequence spellcasting as if it were a spellcaster. Either Blossom in the Wind, so the maximum 2 actions, which is good on some Sui units to make sure that those guys that you want to engage do not make a fluid and charge and attack, or Misery of Failure and Vision. And we will see that the Kappa that we'll see just after have the Sui rule. So let's remember that those guys can, every turn, make a free spellcasting action for -1 resolve for the whole enemy, and then it's not only them, they can have other punchy regiment behind, or they can block the enemy's attacks. That's really good. I mean, free spellcasting action is great, and let's remember that she can put her, if you don't have any Kappa in range or stuff, she can put it on herself, and she can put -1 resolve to someone with this free spellcasting action, and then give herself unyielding, or give hesitation to a friendly regiment for Tenacious 2 against the shooting. Well, I will not oversell her. It does sound very fun to play. This, yes. I will not oversell how strong it is, because I am more a brute force guy. Like, I like my big armor, big hammer, and yeah, yes, I played wars, guys. What else do you expect? I don't play elves. This is a elves gameplay. But it sounds very fun to just go around, move, be very modular, and if you begin this army, I think having one turn when you can just mix around, having some free spellcasting, I think it's a good way to learn the army, because you have so many ways of just, okay, I made a mistake, you know what, I switch it up. It sounds very fun. Plus free spellcasting once per turn for just the -1 resolve at 12 inches from any Sui unit is good. Or on herself as a free thing, and or the Blossom in the Wind is more situational, but -1 resolve, always great, except if you play against Old Dominion, but hey, everybody is sad when they play against Old Dominion, it's not only you. And we finish with the Kappa Bushi. We talked about them when we were discovering the 2-player starter sets, because I wanted to talk about the 1-player cohort and like how to expand, and those guys were in it, so you can take a look back if you want to have another like deep dive on those guys. But now the main thing that they and all the other stands in the modular regiment gained is that they are now at 7 wounds, and those that used to be like the flying I forgot the name, but yeah, the flying birds that can shoot or fly around, they went from 5 wounds to 6. This gives them a lot of durability in addition, and they did, as you can see, they didn't change the point cost. So, I mean, I've never played against them on the table, but maybe they were out-resourced by other opponents, but now they really feel elite, like 7 wounds per stand. To just basic modular regiment is going to be 21 wounds to go through before you need to like start to before you can kill the character that is inside. That is absolutely insane. As a reminder, those guys are base defense 3, resolve 3, 7 wounds, as we've said, 5 attacks each with cleave 1, impact 2, starts to be really good, and where they're amazing is like they have clash 3, so basically clash 4 when they attack and they inspire, with flurry. So that means that it's gonna be like about 15-16 attacks, almost hitting at 100%. Of course not, but let's say you're gonna get 12 of them through with cleave 1. That is a lot of firepower for a unit that is going to be 225 points. As a Sui unit, they are adaptable in the sense that you can switch them to be the leader or not. And if they're a leader of the unit, it's even more modular because they can be activated and gain the effects of any ideal card. So not only Sui, but you can get the +2 move from Fu that we've said, the bonus in resilience. Like you can really have a regiment that will be able to activate almost at full power no matter the card that you have. So adaptability is the name of the game here. I'm not sure, like if you're a new player, it's good because like really like have a Kappa leading all of your modular regiments, and then you really don't care much about the pile and how to prepare your cards basically. He's going, oh, which bonus I have, +2 March? Okay, sure. But if you're a new player, it's great. If you are like me and you want something more specific or more like a skill list, like I know what I would play. You can guess what I would play. I would play the defensive ones, of course. But you can not. It's not possible to go wrong by having Kappa Bushi being the leader of your regiment. It's always going to be fine. Either you're a new player and it's again safety net. Either you are a top player and then you can really activate however you want and give the bonus that you need at the moment that you need. Overall, very happy of this boost that the Yoronis received, and I'm very excited to see them on the table soon. We had a good painter, a new guy that you didn't see on the channel yet, painting those guys, and yeah, very excited to bring them on the table against some Sorcerer Kings, because I think that's going to be the match that we want to see most. Or of course against W'adhruns, W'adhruns, City States. We start to have a few armies. We need to get some more battle reports going on. We'll talk about this in the debriefing, because we reach the end of the video. That is going to be it. I hope that you enjoyed and that it was helpful, whether you are a W'adhruns player or Yoroni player, or even if you just play against them and you want to be ready, or maybe you're not even a Conquest player and you just, do I want to start the game, yes or no? Well, you know what I think. Yoroni are a great faction for beginners if you were wondering whether to start Conquest or not. Not many models, beautiful miniatures, quite elite, very easy to play, and they are the best army to start learning the game. I really believe they made this army to try to open the chakras of new player that would like to try. Yoronis are amazing, W'adhruns are great as well. Beautiful, beautiful models from Conquest all the time, like every single month. So yeah, Conquest is a great game. Thank you, love. It is a great game, and you should at least try it or make a demo, because it's such a fun game to play. Do expect some more battle reports. The next recording we have, because we have a few games, we're going to have a recording on the 12th of July, so it's going to be, not on vacation, but expect the battle report somewhere middle to end of July, our next Conquest battle report, and of course our usual covering of the news and stuff in the meantime. Alright, thank you very much guys, as always, for having watched until the end. You remember, like, thumbs up, subscribe, especially give us a comment so you can win an entire W'adhruns army, like part of my collection of W'adhruns forces that can be yours if you just put a comment and if you're a little bit lucky. You can also join us on the Discords. We play some video games. You can get additional tickets to gain even more chances to gain those armies. I say those because there is a Conquest army for the W'adhruns, but also a Union Armada if you want to start playing Dystopian Wars, which is also a great game. It was not as streamlined and easy to play as Conquest, but there is a 4th edition coming this summer, and so do expect, like, if you want to have a fleet ready for that, you know what to do. Leave us a comment. Okay guys, take care of yourself, and until the next video, remember to keep things fair in love and in wargames. Bye!